Hey, it's Ken. A little bit of housekeeping here. I'm in a public space, so you may hear people talking and cars driving by, but we're going to see how this works. As it stands right now, this is going to be my final video. We'll see what happens. I don't know if people are going to ask for more information or not. I don't even know if anybody's going to watch these videos. But that doesn't matter. Really, I'm just going to put them out there because I felt the need to do it. So the last couple of videos, I've been trying to introduce a couple concepts to you. One of those is less contractor, more Mac VSOG. Another one of those is, or the second one, you can say, is you have what you have, but is it enough? So I'm going to rant a little bit, try not to, try to stay on subject, not ramble too much. We'll see how it goes. So what got me started on this was I'm watching all these videos produced by these guys, and to be honest with you, I just think they're LARPing. I don't think they're planning on anything. They're just going out and having fun and making videos, and because it's a source of income and they can go buy more cool gear. I'm watching some of these guys and they say, this is my kit, and I look at it and, it's a belt with magazine pouches on it that are more built for competition shooting than it is being out in the woods for several days. Or I'm looking at their kit and they're saying, this is my recon kit. Well, you ain't got no water on your recon kit. I mean, come on, what the hell? You got 2 pistol magazines, an M16 magazine, and they're all in a quick draw position, but you ain't got no water. Dude, that ain't no recon. That ain't no recon gear. Okay, that is not a recon gear. That's a range kit. That's what it is. Let's just be honest. I'm going out LARPing. I'm going to go to the range with my buds, go pop off some rounds, and then go to a barbecue some chicken or some steak and throw down a few beers. That's what kind of belt that is. That's not a war belt. You call it a war belt, but it's not a war belt. And then these guys are selling these Australian or not Australian or I don't know, what do they call them? South African style chest rigs with 3 magazine pouches. 3. Okay, now that's cool if you're an operator or you're some type of contractor. Most contractors, it's glorified guard duty. That's all it is. So you can get by with 3 magazines on your kit, 1 in the rifle, and no water, because you ain't going nowhere. Or maybe you are like on CAG or some type of special forces operator or special ops team. You go in the morning, you're gonna be there 3 or 4 hours, and then you're gonna leave. You got, what do they call it, a speedball on 5 minutes, a 5-minute speedball, where you can get automatically resupplied. And you got a 15-minute QRF, a quick reaction force, a whole platoon backing you up. Yeah, that might be good. 3 magazines might be good for you. Okay? But I bet you those dudes in the quick reaction force, I bet you they ain't carrying 3 magazines. I bet you they're carrying 6 or more. So what I'm going to suggest to you is, once again, you're looking at the Mac VSOG guys. What did they carry? Did they carry 3 magazines or did they carry 12? Okay, what's the fastest pistol reload? The fastest pistol reload is to carry a second pistol. And here's where I'm going with it. If your basic load is 3 magazines, then the fastest way to reload those magazines is to have another 3 on you, ready to go. So that's 6. And if your basic load is 6 magazines, then maybe you should carry 8, 10, or 12 that are loaded, ready to go. Because this ain't, if things go sideways, this shit hits the fan, this ain't no time for LARPing. Okay? Ain't no time for no nonsense. I was watching one video where there was an operator type dude. He was pretty high ranking, and he said that he thought the basic load for the civilian should be 3 magazines in your gear, in your kit, and then one in the gun. That's not enough. I mean, if you're preparing for some type of civil disorder or economic collapse or whatever the case may be, I'm thinking you're going to need more than 3 magazines for a reload. So what I'm going to suggest to you is, instead of buying all this kit that these guys are advertising or reviewing or whatever it's called, and I ain't got nothing against it, honestly. I mean, that's what they do. That's how they make their money, and whatever. They got to do what they got to do. However, maybe you should buy some kit, some proven kit that carries more magazines, that you can actually have canteens on. And what I'm talking about is the TAP, Tactical Assault Panel, the ATAP, the Advanced Tactical Assault Panel, the FLIC, I think it's called the Fighting Load Carrier. Okay, that's proven gear. It's all surplus military gear, but that's proven gear. That's gear you can put magazines on and everything you need. More than 3. More than 3. And like I said, I get it. I understand what they're doing. They got to do reviews. That's how they make money. That's how they get gear. They make money by getting people to watch. Okay, but I'm going to tell you, my personal opinion, if you're wearing some type of chest rig and you can only get 3 magazines on it, then you got to put another magazine, some type of magazine carrier on top of that, so you can carry 6, and then you're going to put some type of, pouch or pouches on top of that. I mean, dang. But the thing sticks out 6 inches from your body. What, you're going to be standing up all day? I mean, the chances of you getting in a firefight is slim. You're not going to lay down at all. And if you lay down with all that gear on, you can't even get close to the ground because, you got 6 inches hanging off your chest, and you can't get close to the ground. You're sticking up in the air. So what I'm going to suggest, and I'll put some links in the description of some of my favorite surplus stores. You can buy a complete TAP gear for $100. That's all the buckles, straps, the whole 9 yards. You can buy a FLIC for less than that. A FLIC looks like a vest. A TAP is just a carrier you wrap around your body, across your shoulders. It's a chest rig. And now, the Army has moved on to the advanced tactical assault panel, the ATAP. The Air Force has already moved on. And a matter of fact, there's one surplus store. He has the Air Force version of the ATAP for $13. It doesn't come with any pouches, but it is the ATAPs. And what I think is kind of funny that our advanced tap or ATAP looks like the English JJ's gear that they were using in the 60s and the 70s. So we've come full circle in our hanging gear. First it was a belt with all your pouches and shoulder straps, and then we went to chest rigs and plate carriers with pouches attached, and then we went to a chest rig with magazine pouches sewn into it, and now we've gone back. But in this case, it's this looks like more like a vest than a chest rig, but it has no belt. It's just reinforced nylon that you put your pouches on. So I'm thinking, if you're serious about this, okay, that's what you're going to go get. Okay, if you're LARPing, if you're out here for the fun of it, hanging out with your buds, going to the range, blasting off a few 100 rounds, then go have a picnic and throw back a couple beers, and yeah, that's cool. That's cool. But for the prepper, I do not suggest that. I do not suggest that at all. I suggest you get something to where you can carry more than 3 magazines without your body, without all this stuff hanging off your plate carrier or your chest rig, like 6 inches of stuff that sticks out in front of you. That's no good. It's no good. At least, in my opinion, it's no good. And there's one more thing I'd like to cover. I know that there's been some conversation of whether or not you should carry a pistol. Personally, I don't care, right? But I will say this: if you're on a square range and you're standing still and you can't hit a target from 50 yards, don't bring a pistol. Okay, don't just take the pistol off, put on some extra magazine pouches in place where that pistol was located. And I would also say this, here recently, everybody talks about pistols. They keep getting, smaller, lighter, because most people think in the pistol in terms of as a defensive weapon. Well, I'd like to challenge you there and start maybe thinking of the pistol or your pistol as an offensive weapon. If you don't consider your pistol an offensive weapon or offensive and defensive weapon, then maybe you don't need one. Maybe you don't need to carry a pistol. So those are some things I think you should keep in mind if you're a prepper. If you're serious about, if you're serious about civil unrest, if you're serious about the economy crashing and et cetera, if you're serious about all that stuff, you might want to take a good look at what you're doing. What do I have? Personally, I have a chest rig, a tap, right? And then I'll also have a war belt, but it's really a war belt. I have a pistol on it, a canteen, first aid kit, knife, 2 pistol magazines, and 2 rifle magazines or 2 AR magazines. Now, at any time I can take that pistol off and add more AR magazines to my belt. And the reason I like that, the reason I go like that is because it's modular. I can, oh, and my plate carrier is slick. I have a slick plate carrier. There's nothing on it. It's just a plate carrier. And what that allows me to do is be modular. I can put my war belt on and just carry that. Or I can put my plate carrier on and then my war belt, and I have 3 magazines for my AR. Or if I really think it's going to get serious, then I can throw my tap on top of that, which has another 7 magazines, or 8, depending on whether or not you want to use one of those pouches for radio. That's what I have. I like being modular. I like being able to, what is it, MET-T? What's the threat? What's your mission? Do you really expect to, get into a situation where you could be forced into a firefight? Maybe if you're not expecting to get into a firefight, then you don't really need to carry all that stuff. You don't really need a plate carrier. You don't really need to carry 8 magazines in a chest rig. All you can do, all I have to do is throw on my belt, and I have a pistol, an AR, and reloads for them. But that's what I do. You do what you do. You do what you think is right. But at least, in the end, think about what you're doing. If you're watching a video, this is my opinion. My opinion, you do what you want. If you're watching a video and the guy's got 3 magazines in his chest rig, you don't need that. If you guys got a guy watching a video and he's talking about his war belt, and there ain't no water on anywhere in his gear, no water on his chest carrier, no water on his belt, no water nowhere, you don't want to be listening to that person talking about going out in the woods for several days and you ain't got no stinking water. That is just insane. It is insane. And speaking of water, I know a lot of people are infatuated with those water bladders that, that's got the hose and all that. But you need to be careful. You need some other type of container other than just one of those water bladders that you carry on your back or in your gear, because those things are notorious. They're notorious for breaking. Okay, they pop, all your water leaks out, or that connection, that little plastic connection between the bag and the hose, that thing will crack. Sometimes it breaks all the way off. And I have had a couple of people say they've never had one break, but most guys that I've talked to that actually go out in the field and do stuff, like run around, and they're actually on patrol. I talked to one of my friends, and he said he was buying, in Afghanistan, he was buying one of those water bladders every month, at least once a month, because they break so easily. So that means you need to have some type of other container. And I know canteens ain't sexy, they ain't cool, but regular USGI canteens, hey, they're not gonna break. I mean, they will break, but you have to try to break them. So, and then back again on the water, the guy I was talking to who said that he was buying at least one bladder a month while he was over in Afghanistan. When I was talking to him about water, he said if I was going out on patrol and I knew it was only going to be a couple of hours, I carried 2 water bottles. Now, because of where they were at, they didn't carry canteens, they had water bottles. That's just, I don't know, that's just the way they did it. So he would carry, like, just water bottles that you get at Walmart. And he would, if he was going to be out for the morning or the afternoon, he would carry 2 water bottles. He would drink water before he left. And when he got halfway through the patrol, he would drink a bottle of water, and that left him with 1 to drink if he felt it was necessary, maybe to sip from. But when he went out and he knew he was going to be gone for 2 or 3 days, he carried a gallon of water plus his water bladder. All right, does that sound familiar? Okay, so this whole idea that you only need 1 water bottle. Okay, fine. If you're on the AT Trail or the Pacific Trail or Southwest Trail, whatever those, all those trails that the thru hikers go on, they know where they can get water. It's clearly marked. They know when they're going to get water. They can get away with carrying a liter of water because they're going to start in the morning and they're going to walk to the next spigot, or they're going to walk to the next little creek where they can get water, and it's clearly marked. But whatever it is you're doing, if you're not in an area where it's safe for you to stop at the nearest watering hole, or where the next creek is where you can get water, or you have a spigot out there somewhere where you can get water out of, then you're going to need to carry more than just 1 liter of water. So I think I've done enough ranting for today. And as I said, this is going to be my last video unless something else comes up. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I hope you will remember the 2 ideas and apply them to your situation. The first one is less contractor, more MACV-SOG. And the second one is, when you're out there and you're in the woods, whether you're bugging out, trying to get home, or you're patrolling, you have what you have, and that's it. And hopefully you have everything you need. I hope you have a blessed day.